All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Sorry about that. XSplit decided to crash, Dota decided to crash, and then everything else on my computer decided to fall apart. But we're back, and hopefully things should be stable this time around. It's game one of Vici Gaming versus ForLove for the Dota 2 Super League for the Perfect World $1 million or 1 million RMB event, which is approximately $160,000 in total prize pool. It is a massive prize pool. It's a prestigious event, and we're going to be seeing Vici Gaming looking strong after taking out LGD China 2-0, and currently the only team with a win to their name in the Dota 2 Super League is they're the only team who's actually won a game so far, because hey, there's only been one match. They'll be looking to extend that lead to a 2-0 advantage. Draft now well underway, so I'm going to hand it off to the man who's graciously lending his time and services to join me here today. Winter, take us through the draft.
Yeah, Vici opening was very standard, right, with the Magnus pickup and followed by a Rubik plus anti-mage. Rubik as their primary support, and they have a huge AoE control in the fight already to support the anti-mage later on with the Empower. So I think it's very standard lately. All the games have been anti-mages a lot, even in the scrims against the Chinese teams. The other day when we played against Rising Stars, both of the games they used anti-mage. It's sort of coming back into the game where anti-mage has been being more and more popular recently.
And why do you feel that is? Is there any particular reason? Is it just the safer option? I mean, I know that's
I think it's because of a safer option. And in a tournament finals, every player is like feels that they don't want to take any risk, and they want to go for what is safe and what is the team's favorite heroes. And most of the Chinese teams are very accustomed to using anti-mage.
Winter, if you're not already doing so, make sure that you turn on your Dota TV audio. I already have mine on, but I toggled it just to be sure, guys. Not sure if it's a little buggy right now.
Mine is on already.
Okay.
I already turned it on.
We both were already on. Hopefully it's good. If there's still any issues, we can try toggling it again. But with that being said, Vici Gaming going for a less aggressive lineup than what I've seen them pick in the past. They're going for something a little more stable. When we were casting them, it wasn't even a week ago. When they played LGD China 4 or 5 days ago, they were picking much more aggressive heroes in the early to mid game. Heroes like Clockwork, heroes like Storm Spirit. But this time around, they're going to take it back, play it kind of slow, and they'll finish things off with a Weaver. So it does look like a solo Weaver, a solo Magnus probably going mid, and then a tri-lane anti-mage. Do you think they could maybe leave the anti-mage 1v1 versus this Clockwork and run an aggressive tri-lane, or what are you expecting to see here as far as the lanes for Vici Gaming?
I think the reason they open up so passively is because of the fact that the way ForLove open up their draft with Juggernaut, Clockwork, and Gyrocopter, 3 very strong heroes that can contribute a lot in the early fights. And that's the reason why Vici Gaming picking up a more passive heroes. They could also potentially, like you said, put the anti-mage solo on the safe lane, 1 versus 1 against the Clockwork, or even the Juggernaut.
Yeah, as for ForLove, normally when you pick up the Juggernaut, you really want to be aggressive with it in the early to mid game. Get some early kills with the Bane, Jug +1. It could be the Clock is the +1, but it's kind of an awkward tri-lane having 2 melee heroes.
I feel Clockwork has a higher chance of going to the mid lane against Magnus.
I would be inclined to agree as well.
But I've seen like Rattlesnake do it solo mid against Magnus a few times already.
Well, I guess the question is, how effective is that really going to be? Because at the end of the day, Magnus is going to bottle Crow, so he doesn't really care if he's losing his mana.
But Juggernaut can just spin and clear the creeps out and still control and compete.
Oh, you mean the Juggernaut? I thought you meant the Clockwork. Yeah. Okay.
No,
that makes more sense.
I was talking about the Juggernaut because I've seen Rattlesnake use it a couple of times in scrims as a solo mid hero.
Well, they go for the Earthshaker as their final pick, so they get a lot of control.
No, it's not a Juggernaut solo mid. 8K is the solo mid player for ForLove.
So it will be a solo mid Clockwork, and looks like a 1-position Gyrocopter, and then a very, very strong long-range lineup, to be honest, for ForLove. They get Fissure, they get Rockets, Call Down, all kinds of spammable long-range spells. Very annoying lineup to play against. So at the same time, I feel they have to get a lot done in this early to mid game. If they don't, how are they going to deal with Vici Gaming later on? They've got 2 carries. They have a Rubik, who potentially could be a game-changing late-game support. And then on top of that, an anti-mage who will get Cleave from Empower, and of course RP.
Have you seen ZSMJ play anti-mage in an official match?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
I think no, right? I don't remember.
I haven't seen this in ages. It's been a very, very long time.
Yeah, like you said, the last few games they played, it was always ZSMJ on a very aggressive carry like a CK, not something like an anti-mage which is very farm orientated.
Yeah, they've been going for more kind of aggressive tempo-controlling lineups in the mid-game, but we're not going to see that here. We're going to see a very defensive and strong late-game lineup. Sure, they can pick some fights, but they'll be very selective about when they do it. They won't be trying to fight constantly, whereas you look at ForLove, once they get to the 7-8 minute mark, they just want to keep on fighting. Hook in, cog in, go for Omni Slashes.
It seems like they are the ones who want to go for the aggressive tri-lane.
It feels like they need to. If they don't go aggressive tri-lane here, you're giving free farm to an anti-mage with a lineup that can stop pushes easily with the Swarm, with Fade Bolt, with all of Lina's nukes, and of course Shockwave. So you can't push easily against these guys. And you need to push because you're not going to take it late game. So, like you said, it seems like a lineup that wants to aggressive tri-lane, and I think given the lineup they're up against, it's a lineup that must aggressive tri-lane.
I don't really feel that even if they go to the late game, they don't have a chance at all. If they go to the late game, they have the Fiend's Grip to deal with the anti-mage, and they have two very high DPS heroes in physical damage to deal with the anti-mage, which is the Juggernaut and the Gyro. I think as long as they don't let the anti-mage control the game too much with his split pushing, even if they transition into the ultra late game, they will still stand a chance against the anti-mage.
It's going to be a tough... at the same time, it's going to be... Who will they be able to kill in this tri-lane is sort of the question. You're not going to kill the anti-mage. Lina or Rubik would be the ideal choices, and they do have good long-range initiation, so I feel ForLove could find kills, but in the end, they are going to potentially run a pair of dual lanes here.
It seems like they are ditching the off-lane. It's going to be ForLove Hanchi alone at the off-lane, and as the Juggernaut, ForLove you, Earthshaker, playing the Earthshaker support, 8k on the solo mid Clockwork. Then we have Zippo on the Bane Elemental support as well. And last but not least, Kyo on the Gyrocopter.
So you just ran through ForLove. Just going to make sure I show each hero at least once. And on the other side, we've got Vici Gaming 1-0 in the Dota 2 Super League. Looking strong coming into this match. Fenrir will be handling that support Lina. FY on the support Rubik. We'll have ZSMJ playing that anti-mage. He does have his poke camp boarded off the bat. We'll see what comes of that. We then have a solo mid. Magnus being handled by CTY.
I think I know what's gonna happen here, LD. Sorry, I have to cut you off. They're gonna pull the Ancient with the Earthshaker at bottom.
Some would call this an exploit. Others would call it creative. We'll see. Well,
I think did they just time it a bit too early? The creep's not spawned yet.
They're blocking in one creep here, so they are good. They're gonna get this lane to pull back. Shenanigans, Winter. Shenanigans abusing Fissure to get the creep wave to pull towards the tower, but this is...
they're gonna get it this time, yeah. They're gonna get it this time.
Alright, well, you keep an eye on that, and last but not least for Vici Gaming, we have XTT playing the offlane Weaver, and it looks like he's not really gonna be in the offlane. He's rotating bottom.
Yeah, he seems like he's gonna jungle, but it's gonna be very slow.
So they get the second pull. It looks like they body block one of the creeps inside of the trees just to get the lane to pull back a little harder.
It was perfect blocking by the Fissure and using the heroes to block the last slot so that the creeps move to the Ancient.
This is clever because you look at what ForLove is getting, or what Vici Gaming is going to get out of their offlane. It's pretty much zilch. XTT, jungling as Weaver. This is a horrible jungling hero. Very inefficient, very slow, and not going to accomplish much. So right now, things looking good for ForLove in terms of the trade-offs.
Do you think you would prefer the Weaver to at least go and challenge the support at the top lane, since he's going to jungle so slow, and they already know that there's the Earthshaker at the bottom lane, so there's only two heroes at top.
Well, they do now, and I guess the question is, I imagine he wants to kill this camp and then go, because he's already put a lot of time into traveling there, and looks like that will be the case, so he's going to be very far behind. And this is a lane where Weaver shouldn't die, but if he ever gets caught or slept at the right moment while Sakuchiing away, then he will.
Look at what the Bane has skilled at level 1.
He's taking a table, but
yeah,
he's actually sitting on 2 skill points right now. Probably waiting to see if that Weaver shows up in the lane. And
this is very, very good. He just keeps it and looks at the situation where whether he needs the 2 levels on Brain Tap or whether he needs the sleep.
And on the side of ForLove, will they continue to do the Ancient pulls? They got a couple of creeps for the Earthshaker. He hits level 2 off of that. And now Juggernaut up to 3, doing a fantastic job of keeping this lane pulled in between the Earthshaker fissures, as well as the fact that they warded off the camp. It was de-warded, but I think that prevented at least the initial pull. They're getting so much out of this off lane. I just can't stress it enough. That's such a great start for ForLove. Now top lane, XTT's in trouble, trying to bait out a Sakuchi, won't find it, but the missile's going to come in. Will the barrage be enough? It's going to be close, but the barrage maybe not close at all. Oh my goodness, did he ever melt? An easy first blood off the bat.
Wow,
beautiful execution.
Such a good execution by both of the players there, the Bane and the Gyrocopter. Everything was textbook perfect. all the timings.
You know, it's funny. We were using execution in the sense of, you know, a well-designed and performed Kank, but it was also an execution in the sense that Weaver just got his squishy little bug leg sliced right off and thrown out, and he's not too happy with
Yeah,
it.
if you think about the lane, this lane is horrible for the viewer. It's horrible. Shukuchi can't save his life if he gets caught with the Nightmare and the homing missile.
And maybe if it's a max Sakuchi, but it won't be max. He starts at level 1.
It's a max rocket barrage to kill him.
Yeah, maybe if he's level 7, he could deal with this lane, but Sakuchi has a very long cooldown at the early levels, so now you're in the uncomfortable position, if you're Vici Gaming, of having an off-lane Weaver that is still roam.
I like what he's gonna do now, LD. He's gonna pull the creeps with his hero.
Oh, this is... Well, it ensures the gyrocopter won't be here, so he can't really die just to the Bane.
Unless the Bane sleeps him now to stop the pull.
As I say that, maybe he'll die just to the raw auto attacks. There's only 1 point Brain Sap. If there were 2, might have had just enough to try and go for a kill. XTT will rotate towards the middle lane, and he's going to run right into 8k. Well, what can he do?
You know what, LD? I think Gods will be disappointed with this Weaver. If Gods was playing the Weaver, the first thing he would do at the start was to camp for the career. I think it's actually a very viable strategy to do as a Weaver because of the movement speed that Shukuchi gives you, and if you're at the offlane where you can't go up, it's good at the start at level 1, right from the get-go, you go camp for the career at the start. The Clockwork had his bottle so early, there was a good chance for him to kill the career at the start.
Well, that opportunity's done and gone, Winter, so now we gotta look at what's in front of us. Bottom lane, 3 heroes for Vici Gaming, trying to push in, but it's very difficult to push against these two, the Earthshaker, the Juggernaut. They are slowly whittling that tower down.
It's very difficult, not to mention the Blade Fury, they can't kill the Juggernaut. Oh, they're gonna try
maybe
now.
they can if they get the timing just right. The fissure's there, won't matter. No. ZSMJ gets a crucial kill, and now, well, that'll be it for the time being.
I don't think he should have went and tried to take that creep. Even though he has Blade Fury.
Maybe expecting a fissure just a tiny bit sooner, but didn't get it in the end, and as a result, he'll go down.
If the fissure came earlier to stop the Lina from landing her light strike array, the Juggernaut won't die.
Here comes XTT. That Romy Weaver has hit level 3. Can he find a kill here? He's got Sakuchi. He needs 1 more Geminate and then a Sakuchi, and he won't find it. Now 8k, rotating towards the bottom lane. Oh boy, is he going to find a courier? He will, but he can't kill it just yet. He'll need at least 2 more auto attacks, it looks like.
He has no mana for Shukuchi.
Oh no. Well, he'll be okay for the time being. I don't know if our Clockwork has actually realized that. 8k. He'll rotate back. He spotted this Weaver rotating through the middle lane, and now there will be mana, but there's a hook from long range. From downtown, 8k is going to find him. XTT trapped in the cogs. He dead is right. And down he'll go. Well played. For a moment there, it looked like he was going to get away, and then 8k said, here I come.
We've been seeing brilliant Clockwork plays for the whole week. First from CTY, then yesterday from Tongfu Mu, and today, what will be the story for 8k?
You know, it's actually to the point where even though they are brilliant, we get spoiled, and we're like, just a standard Clockwork play. But really, a fantastic hook from long range, and at the perfect moment too, right before we ever got mana for Sakuchi. So Winter, we're now about 6.5 minutes in, score 2-1, looking at a fairly even game in terms of gold, but when it comes to experience, as you would expect with this Weaver not getting much, and with Vici Gaming trying to push early with their tri-lane, they are very far behind in terms of experience.
Yeah, and you look at the last hits of both the teams carry, the anti-mage has so much less than the gyrocopter because of the pulling at bottom.
The disruptive play from ForLove, as well as the fact that his own camp was blocked, and on top of that, well, they tried to push, so there was some time where he was trying to last hit under the tower, and as a result, as good of a farmer as ZSMJ is, he's not farming particularly well by his standards. 5 CS a minute for a defensive tri-lane is not that good.
He's not even going to rush the battle Fury LD. He already went for power trades.
And you look at the amount of just burst damage that ForLove bring to the table, and it's kind of understandable. I feel it's a game where, well, sure, you can get your Battle Fury early, but you get slept or fissured, and the follow-up probably going to kill you from full HP.
Yeah, I feel VG has to rotate their supporters around the map to try and control the game right now. If they keep staying at bottom and Earthshaker keeps doing the full, they're going to be in a huge disadvantage position.
Well, they did try to ward off all RP mid lane onto 8k. They did rotate mid. Can they kill him off? It looks like they should be able to. Skewered back towards the tower. Still alive. He hooks through. He catches 2 with that one, but won't escape in the end. Oh man, if he lived through that, that would have been a Wodo to play. But as it is. He will go down in the end. They rotated, they needed a kill, they get a kill, and very efficiently will stack the camp.
Do
Something
you think if the one that TP'd in was the Earthshaker instead of the Bane, he would have lived?
hard
Because
to say.
the Bane came first before the Earthshaker.
While we're talking about that, looks like ZSMJ has managed to find himself a solo kill on Hansi in the offlane, so had a good start. Hansi did as far as you could expect for that dual lane against a defensive tri-lane, but he gives up a kill now.
Yeah, that was very, very, very bad to give up the kill. It sort of throws away whatever they did at the start to slow down the anti-mage's farm.
And now we look towards the mid game for ForLove, and oh no. As soon as I start talking about that, Missy to kill mid. That's now 2. Notch him.
Yeah, he skewered the Earthshaker, which the Earthshaker was trying to last hit where he shouldn't have.
A hero that definitely struggles to farm. That's one of the issues with Earthshaker, and one of the reasons. Oh no!
He just
top lane,
needs...
XTT. Sakuchi's cooling down. The missile is going to connect. There won't be a chase from Kaio.
Bottom lane. Oh no, the hook misses on ZSMJ. He manages to escape.
Oh my goodness! Everybody, all of a sudden, a flurry of action all across the map. Everybody dropping low. Some heroes dying here and there, and now we look at the gold and the experience. So they have tipped dramatically upwards. Just getting that 1 kill mid on the clockwork really turned things around for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, it was also a very important kill because Magnus got the last hit of it. It means a faster dagger for them.
Now 8K is going to rotate back towards the middle lane, continues to spam the cogs, and I guess the good news for Vici Gaming, CTY is farming pretty well. ZSMJ not farming as well as the Gyrocopter, but he's still farming. He has not died, 2-0-0, so he's got some additional kills to his name, and when it comes to net worth, he's behind, but not insurmountably so. And at the end of the day, he does have a power as well. Bottom lane. Oh, what a stun! Beautifully placed by Fenrir. Hansi trying to hoof his way out of here. He's got a Blade Fury. It won't necessarily help him, though. No Mana Void, no forward blink. It was cooling down. He's only got 1 point in it. Meanwhile, top lane, XTT being ushered away from this tower by Flat Cannon. And he's low, but he won't go down just yet. Forced to go for an early bracer.
I feel if you look at the heroes, LD, VG Gaming have one issue as well. Their offlaner is not a hero that's able to contribute to the team much without farm. If you compare it to the Juggernaut, you have a
Hansi.
spin healing bot.
Oh boy.
Look at that. He doesn't have farm, but he can still take out a supporter on his
Finds a lonely leader, and she pays, but FY with a sensational,
Earthshaker.
beautiful body
Earthshaker,
block.
Fisher.
Zaps him down. Was looking for the Fisher, but in the other one fight. I think he was going to die anyway.
I think he was worth a shot though. He might have saved the job.
He wanted his neutrals, apparently. That was priority number 1 for you. Priority number 2 was saving his ally, I suppose.
Saving the carry is not his priority. Oh my god.
But that's really a good point. I mean, what is XTT going to contribute to his team? He could throw the Swarm out, but that's really...
That's what I was worrying about. Because Juggernaut can contribute a lot more without items if you compare it to the Weaver.
Right, a healing ward, an Omni Slash, a Blade Fury. He can be in the front lines. The tower will be kicked off by the Radiant.
Stop the anti-mage from getting the last hit of the tower. That was very important.
Delays the Battle Fury. Well, meanwhile for Kyo, up to 3,000. I imagine we'll see either the
Hook
BKB... Oh, bottom lane. Hook on to Fenrir. Gets caught. Cog on 2. Thrown out of the cogs. Fenrir still alive. Now the Fissure to bring ZSMJ low. He's in trouble. Where's that RP? Looking. Fishing, but Hansi gets off a Blade Fury in time. The skewer gonna completely airball. CTY pushed away by the cogs of FY, it looks like, or just didn't get the angle right, couldn't find it. Now Zippo gripping him up, holding him down. Can they bring him down? A mini stun from the Monoboy won't be enough to save his life. 8K actually going in with about 0 HP just cause he can. Has the battery assault online. Fissure was stolen, but FY no mana to use it.
Best spell to steal among all the spells he can steal right now.
And has Mana Boots, so may be able to use it in these upcoming fights. And they really need that Fissure, especially with RP being on cooldown. Good news is CTY got his Blink Dagger purchase just before that. Bad news is he didn't get to use it, and now RP's on cooldown. And on that note, ForLove, with RP on cooldown, they're going to group up and push bottom.
Yeah, and you look at the Gyro, he's 350 gold away from a Black King bar. It's going to be a 30 minutes Black King bar.
Yeah, I was going to say I would expect either a Shadow Blade or a BKB, but when you look at their lineup, they're really good at 5-manning against Vici Gaming at this point in the game. Later on, maybe not so, but...
This is just the power of the Juggernaut, the healing ward, just enables the team to heal up so fast and consistently stick and push as 5.
And Vici Gaming, this is the wise choice. You don't have RP, you already lost heroes bottom lane, give up the tower. The problem is they can't really trade because they don't have that much push right now. So in the end, ForLove get a tower and Vici Gaming get nothing really in return.
And when they get up another set of arcane boots, they will have a very strong team composition to keep on 5-man pushing. For now, they have one arcane boost only. It's not going to be enough for them to sustain prolonged fights.
And AK with a haste rune in his bottle, sitting now at 1,600 gold. He's getting farmed too, and you look at ForLove in general, it seems everybody's having a contribution, getting levels, getting farm. Yep. I don't feel like anyone's going to be left behind.
Do you think that the Clockwork should be the one to get the mecha up?
Yeah. Who else is going to get it? And he could use that extra armor and HP, or effective HP when you heal yourself.
Yeah, but the point is, the recent games, all the Clockworks the Chinese team play, they are the ones who get the items such as, they get drums, they get Axe Scepter, they get all those. I even seen BKBs on Clockworks in scrims, so that I have never ever seen a mecha recently.
Well, it kind of depends on how they want to play it. If they want to sit back and farm and try and... But when you see a Gyrocopter rushing a BKB, you get this item to fight. And if you want to fight, what better item to get than a mech?
Yeah, and look at him now. He's saving up 2k gold, and he didn't complete his power threads or anything else.
He's saving for something. Maybe just waiting. Hansi's now farming the enemy neutrals. What a fissure by FY, but Hansi's actually able to find the other way out. The alternate route is taken. Can he get away? The wand.
Clockwork's coming.
They're not killing off the healing ward. It won't matter in the end. The Blink RP, but he got off a Blade Fury in time. Not taking damage. Cogs catch 2 supports. Beautiful hook by 8K. Fissure to follow up Omni. On top of it all, and Hansi is gonna live. What a ridiculous sequence of events. They didn't kill the healing ward for a good 4 seconds, and they pay.
They dropped the RP as well, and he was using Blade Fury. Yeah. Oh my god.
A sequence of errors by Vici Gaming, and just great play from ForLove, and now they're strongly ahead, Winter. We're now going to look at a 2k gold lead, over to close to 2k experience lead, and more importantly, a very, very farm Clockwork, a Gyrocopter who's got a BKB.
He went for a point booster LD. He's not going to go mecha. He's disappointing us.
I think it's okay. It's not a bad pickup by any means. It's not like ZSMJ is farming particularly well. He's now sitting on a Claymore, but, well, he still doesn't have his Battle Fury yet. We're now 15 minutes in, which, considering it was a defensive tri-lane against a dual-lane Earthshaker Juggernaut, you would expect to have it sooner.
He still doesn't have it. I thought he had it already.
You would expect him to have it sooner, but it just goes back to all the pressure he's been under since the laning stage ended, as well as just the great play from ForLove, denying creeps to the Ancients and generally disrupting his rhythm.
Yeah, but I would still think that it would have been a lot slower if ForLove didn't make the first mistake, which gave him the kill, even.
And the other question, I guess, is what else could Vici Gaming have done differently? Sure, the creeps are getting constantly fissured, but...
I think it comes down to the point where the Weaver pick up as well, because in this situation, Weaver can't help his team out. If it would be another hero that would be more useful with less levels and less farm, things would have been different. Because of the Weaver pickup...
Uh-oh. Was that just me?
Yeah, you just disconnected.
Well, that's not the best connection to the Chinese servers. Hopefully I won't miss any kills. Didn't look like it, but I am reconnecting now. Continue.
Yeah, it was because of... I felt that the Weaver pickup that gave them this disability where the off-lane hero can't contribute to his team, and they have to give not only space to the anti-mage to farm, but also the Weaver to farm.
Well, it looks like... Oh my god, why won't my mouse stop scrolling? What the hell is going on?
Oh, I can see your mouse going down.
I can't stop it from scrolling. I actually have no idea. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. I'm gonna have to try and restart Dota 2. Sorry guys, but I can't observe when that's going on.
Oh.
Looks like there's gonna be a fight, Winter, so just give us the audio.
There's a huge fight, I thought, where Magnus used his RP and killed two heroes. Gyro and Earthshaker went down, and Anti-Mage didn't die, was close to dying, but he gets hooked by the Clockwork in the end. Oh, I'm very bad at this.
That's okay. But, well, there's a big fight at top. Anti-Mage doesn't die. Hopefully it won't be scrolling randomly to the right.
They killed 4 heroes overall in conclusion of it. They killed 4 heroes, and there's a pause, so that's good for you. They killed Juggernaut, killed Gyrocopter, Bane, and the Earthshaker from the up by engaging with the RP. But they only paid the price of 1 anti-mage.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I have never experienced that particular bug before, but my mouse was scrolling uncontrollably to the right, so... Well, sorry we missed that fight. 4 heroes. Man, what a fight to miss, too. Oh boy, that's unfortunate. But good news is we're back now. So hopefully things will stay stable. So, After that fight, a dramatic spike upwards in the gold graph and the experience graph. Vici Gaming take a big fight. That's the first unveiling of the Blink Dagger for CTY, and
I think they already knew about the dagger because he was farming in the lane before and he has his dagger. I don't think ForLove doesn't know about the dagger.
well, it's certainly the first big usage of it, and boy, does he showing off here. Finding 4 kills for his team. They do lose the SMJ in the end. I think I misunderstood you at first, but, well, it hurts. But getting 4 kills, you'll be happy about that, trading your carry's life away. That's something Vici Gaming can live with.
He almost escaped when he tried to TP. He blinked into the trees and tried to TP, but the clockwork hook just got on him.
Well, we're going to spam the waves down, and then Vici Gaming forced to back off. They just can't push, so they do find 4 kills, but they won't find a tower, which I think is okay, but not ideal.
The crucial point of the fight was also because the Rubik had fissure and it hit like 3 heroes. So that was very, very good for the Rubik to hit so many heroes with his fissure.
It's a very hard spell to protect unless you're able to actually fissure the Rubik, because the cast animation is so long.
You have to remember all the time to click on your enchant totem after you use the fissure. That's the only way.
Even then, enchant totem is such a long cast animation. Just in general, aside from Echo Slam, Earthshaker, all the spells have a big wind up.
Yeah, that you don't have a choice though. Even though when you're farming, you always have to remember after using your fissure to push out the lane, you have to use your enchant.
And I love this play from ForLove. Decisively, as soon as RP is used, sure they lose 4 top, they go right into the Roshan pit, and frankly...
There's no vision at all for VG.
Frankly, what could VG do about it even if they had vision? No RP.
Unless they predicted it, or they sense something is wrong.
No RP, and, well, they have a lineup that really relies on RP to take fights. I mean, sure, you mentioned the fissure, but
they are taking such a long time, it's gonna become very obvious. Look at the swarm is coming in.
Oh, maybe.
No, they might be in trouble.
Yeah, the healing ward has worn off. It's not going to be here just yet. In comes FY. Watch for the fissure. Can he find the timing just right? He will drop it now a little bit early, protecting Hansi in a sense. Keeps him inside the pit. No follow-up just yet.
SMJ blinking to steal the AD.
RP is there, but the hook is going to catch 2. Pushes him away. Roche still alive. The big boys out of the pit. Looking for somebody to smack down. RP catches 2. Where's the follow-up, though? The BKB is off from Kaio. He's going to man up. That cooldown's going to hit everyone. 3 heroes caught in the cooldown. ZSFJ goes down again. Vici Gaming forced to hoof it out of there.
Both the fissures blocking the anti-mage from escaping.
And Roshan's still alive. Now they hunt Fenrir. Can they find him? Can they pick him off? Battery Assault trying to get in range. The fissure. X marks the spot. Everybody trapped in the fissure. What a sensational fissure V created by Vici Gaming and ForLove. That's teamwork. 2 teams working with each other, I should say. XTT dropping low on the run. Echo Slam can't bring him down. He's going to hoof it out of here. Can he get away? No, he can't. I should say squirm, because that's just what bugs do. When it's all said and done, RP is down, and ForLove with a hook online are going to take this Rosh.
I think they're going to go, they're going to go for the Roshan now. Just finish it.
And they lost ZSMJ again, so
that's very, very bad.
Somehow he's still leading in terms of net worth. I don't know if that's a bug for me.
Let me check.
Is there something on the courier I'm missing?
Yeah, you're right. He's still second right now after the Roshan.
That's why. Kaio has not purchased anything recently, and, well, he's probably sitting on something. Blink Dagger picked up by you. Oh, man. Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, 20 minutes in. And Arcane Boots on top of it. This is scary.
This is very impressive farm by the Earthshaker. They're not even, by all means, having a huge lead.
Vici Gamer will rotate top. They're smoked up. They're looking to go on Hansi. They'll lift him to start. They need to burst him down quick before he can get off. Even a Blade Fury is going to be enough. ZSMJ chasing, but he'll have to back as the rotation comes in. 8K is going to join the party, so... Well, it's an even game, Winter, and if it stays even long enough, I still favor Vici Gaming, but... I feel they're reliant on the RP.
I would say ForLove has a shot as well because of the fact, the nature of their draft. They have 2 carries that can deal a lot of damage to the anti-mage in the fight. Flat Cannon plus the Omni Slash. If the anti-mage blinks in and tries to fight that, he'll die. So I feel even if it goes to our late game, ForLove can still take the game.
That's certainly a fair point. And the other thing is they have more ways to initiate. For Vici Gaming, it's just Blink RP. That's it.
And you mentioned this before, against the Magnus, if you have only 1 carry, you will have the problem where he will just always RP your lone carry. But in the situation now that ForLove has 2 carries, it sort of helps a lot in dealing with the RP.
I agree with that in principle. I wouldn't really say they have 2 carries. When you're looking at a Juggernaut with 30 creep kills, phase boots and drums at 21 minutes, how much can he really carry?
They have to get him farmed up.
That's true. I feel that's... Now you've got your Blink Dagger and Earthshaker. Nobody else needs farm aside from the Clockwork and the Gyro.
When you look at the net worth, the Earthshaker is almost as farm as the Juggernaut.
I don't know if that's great for the Earthshaker or bad for the Juggernaut, but here we go. A 5-hero smoke from ForLove. They're going to march right into the Vici Gaming Ancients looking for somebody to expose themselves, and they may find an unwitting culprit.
If they catch one of the supports, he's dead.
Observer Ward's been deployed. They see a lot right now. They see CTY in the lane. They're going to start with the grip. Where's the follow-up? There is a lift. There's going to be an Omni Slash Echo Slam as well. They blow him up. 2 heroes hit the deck. And with no RP, with no Rubik, they are not going to fight this without a buyback.
That was so bad for them. Yeah, they're gonna lose this tower. I don't think they can defend this tower, and Anti-Mage has to go split push other lane.
That was the Blink Dagger and the Earthshaker sets that fight up. Without it, while he's casting Fissure, at least the Rubik can maybe get the lift off, disrupt the combo, set up in Magnus to escape.
Yeah, he wanted to steal the Fiend's Grip just now. That's why.
Yeah, he starts with the lift. He then tries to before he could even go for the Fiend's Grip, he just died. He didn't even get a spell steal off, just died pretty much mid-lift.
He had to use the lift first to save his teammate before trying to steal the Fiend's Grip.
And it does feel like these supports are starting to become liabilities for Vici Gaming. Rubik's obviously always going to be a useful hero, but he's so squishy, and now there's a Blink on Earthshaker. It's going to be hard to find the right openings.
Clockwork is the hero, the type of solo mid hero you want to catch all these supporters where they hide behind enemy lines, so far behind. Clockwork is one of the few heroes that's very good at going far behind and killing the supporters first before the fight breaks out.
And ZSMJ is still not ahead of farm compared to this Gyrocopter, and normally you'd expect an anti-mage with the Battle Fury to be ahead at this point unless there was just constant ancient stacking, which truthfully we see some now, but there hasn't been constant by any means.
I think it's the 2 deaths that's slowing him down significantly. He didn't really get the Battle Fury at a very bad timing, I feel. It's just that the deaths that slowed him down a lot.
Yeah, I would agree. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't as good as you would hope for with a defensive Charlie and anti-mage, and that's more just what ForLove did well with the ancient pulls than anything that Vici Gaming did poorly.
They're gonna need to get this pick off. If they don't get this pick off, it's gonna be a huge blow for them.
There's smoke towards the top lane. Can they find the opening? They'll blink, they'll RP. This time you won't get off of Blade Fury, and down will go. It is an RP down, so if you're ForLove, you look at this and say, well, we can do something now, whether it's fight, whether it's split push, whatever we like.
Juggernaut has buyback.
They're gonna fight. Teleports come in towards the top lane. 8k pops an Invis rune, and now looks for a hook. Can he find one?
It's gonna be bad if he gets an engagement.
Fenrir, that is a very bold place to teleport out. He's gonna get away. Oh man. That's normally not a good place to TP out, but just figures, I gotta go now.
I totally agree with you. He just felt that because there's a Clockwork, he has to take a chance to try and TP as soon as he can. If he gets scouted by the rocket flare, he's dead.
Mid lane, we're going to see a long rotation for 8k. This Clockwork's going to scuttle his way down, but he'll go back to the side shop. He's almost got his Aghanim Scepter. Not quite, 400 gold short.
Once he has it, the Rubik and Lina will be in so much trouble.
And meanwhile, middle lane, Hansi charges in. Meanwhile, the hook shot's going to connect. Catches out CTY, Omni Slash to blow him up. Really feels like an Orchid in terms of you pop it, and down that mag goes. No RP for him. CTY just can't seem to find the RPs. And it's really funny because this is exactly what Vici was doing to LGD China, where Yao just couldn't find an RP. He was up against a different lineup, but the Orchid Storm, the Clockwork on the side of Vici Gaming, completely prevented him from finding RPs in this game. It's the Omni Slash and the Blink stun from the Earthshaker that's completely preventing CTY from finding RPs of his own. So getting a dose of his own medicine here in game 1 of this best of 3. Vici Gaming currently trailing.
He's not far from his backing, but that's good. Going to help him tremendously. He's only 1,000 gold away from it.
And the good news as well is that ZSMJ starting to accelerate his farm, now sitting on almost a completed Mantis style. Yasha now on the Courier. He's actually out farming the Gyrocopter, unless there's something big on the Courier, and checking that Courier now. Well, there is a Javelin. So, I guess...
Double Javel.
Yeah, so Kaio actually quite a bit ahead. Scratch that. MKB picked up now.
Does the net worth count the items in the Courier? Or
no, I don't think so. Well, we'll see. Oh, sorry, I guess it does. Maybe it's if in your stash or something. I think there's one place where it doesn't count them. Or
I was thinking if it doesn't count the double Javel in the Courier, it means that the Gyrocopter is 3,000 gold ahead of the AN.
Yeah, but
So
doing the math, it doesn't really feel like he is. So
yeah, it doesn't feel right.
well, he does have an MKB now. We're sitting on a Manta style coming out for ZSMJ, but the difference is he's got a
Yeah.
power. Something to keep in mind.
CTY is going behind. He's trying to look for opening here.
It's hard for CTY. He's got to be. I feel like he has to counter initiate and almost bait his team.
There's also one more thing. I think he has to get the BKB as soon as he can, before the next fight.
Even then, there's still a Fiend script, and there's Cogs, and there's Omni Slash. So I agree he needs one. I just don't know that it's going to be much of a solution.
It certainly helps a lot, so that he doesn't get disrupted by even the Earthshaker.
It's really been the Omni Slash that's killing him. Hansi's been finding him and isolating him. And if you get a full Omni Slash on a Magnus, that's a hero that normally is durable and hard to kill. Not the case if he's caught in Cogs, he gets hooked, and then he's Omni Slashed. He'll drop real quick.
Yeah, they showed before, ForLove showed in the last gang of the Magnus, they combined the Clockwork Hook, Cogs and the Fissure together with the Omni Slash. There was no time for the Magnus to skewer out of the Cogs.
For the time being, XTT is going to rotate back into the jungle, continue to get what farm and experience
he has BKB already, the Weaver. He just got his BKB.
It's good. I still feel he can mostly be ignored. He needs that next item after BKB, and then it's going to be a problem for ForLove.
Do you think it's not a very, very good item for the Weaver in this type of situation where there's so many spells that go through BKB?
I think it's good because
I feel it's not going to be too helpful for him.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Then they have to use something like an Omni Slash or Fiend Script on him, and that means they're not using it on the Magnus or ZSMJs. So a Lincoln's would be great, but he's not going to farm it, and at this point isn't really a good pickup. So
I think it comes back to the fact that because he's so poor, it's difficult for him to go for items like a Manta style or a Lincoln Sphere. It just takes him too long to get it.
And now ForLove is going to rotate into the enemy jungle, smoked up, and let's see how obvious is the smoke gank right now. Top lane's pushing in, middle lane at the river, bottom lane pushing in.
I think they might have a good chance of catching someone because for VG side they will think that, oh, they are camping all next to the gyro, just don't go to that lane. And if ForLove tries to rotate to the middle lane, and they'll have a chance to catch out anyone farming the jungle.
Problem is, if they do that, then they don't have their gyro with a BKB as well as an MKB. All the KBs in the world, and that's all their damage, basically. So, well, not all of it, but
she's actually as firm as how yesterday when I was watching the tournament, they were playing against, I can't remember who, I think it was Zenith match or the match before against Rising Stars. His gyro had BKB, MKB, Facebook at 26 minutes.
This is now 29 minutes in, but he's sitting on 2,500 gold on top of those items.
2,500 gold as well.
Yeah,
so I think
he's fat.
He's as rich as the gyro before, I saw.
And I guess the question now, Winter, is what do you go for next if you're KYO? What items do you need?
I think everyone will love to go for lifesteal now.
Yeah, at least the Helm of the Dominator, or even just the Mask of Death, and the armor's obviously nice.
Just get a Talisman of Invasion and build your lifesteal after that.
I like the idea of getting some lifesteal and getting the evasion, and then it's really up to, I think, personal preference almost as much as anything, if you go for Satanic or if you complete the Butterfly.
There's also one important point here. It will also force the SMJ to go for Monkey King Bar. Usually you don't see anti-mages going for Monkey King Bar unless it's absolutely needed. He gets more from items like a Butterfly.
And if he does go for it, it'll be his last item, basically. You're not going to get it before then, so... Well, he's sitting on a Manta style.
He won't have a slot for anything else.
ForLove are actually going to be ushered out of the pit. The swarm from XTT will drive them back, and now they lurk on the high ground.
Magnus is waiting for his backing bar on the career.
It has arrived. Big items coming out. Doing a quick item check. Double BKB up for Vici Gaming and the Manta style. So all three of their cores are quite farmed. As for ForLove, their cores are farmed too, but it's getting to that point in the game, Winter, where I think it does start to tilt towards the idea that Vici Gaming have, if they find a good RP, they have just the stronger team fight lineup at this point. Especially if they steal Fissure, if they steal Call Down, or even Fiend Script.
It's a competition between the Earthshaker and the Magnus. Who gets the better engage?
Well, there's a Rubik on the side of Vici Gaming, so there's the X factor if he could steal that Fissure.
Yeah, and it also depends on how Clockwork starts the fight.
Of course, there's always 8k, and the thing is, Hook is amazing with an Aghanim Scepter. A 10-second cooldown, I believe it is, or 12-second, excuse me. But the problem is, It's hard. You find one hook, you're only isolating one hero, and that's not necessarily going to matter against someone like an anti-mage or a Weaver.
If he's able to isolate the Magnus, like you pointed out before, it's gonna be a huge difference for VG.
Right. If he finds someone like the anti-mage, the Weaver, I don't really feel that does anything for them though. And
he needs to set his target just for the Magnus.
yes, turn on those heat-seeking missiles, 8K. Your team needs them. Vici Gaming not out of this game just yet. They trailed at some points, but...
Oh, there's another Black King bar, LD. ZSMG. 3 Black King bars now.
He's gone straight for it. He hasn't... Well, I imagine we'll see the Butterfly, the Basher coming out next, but... For the time being, just looking for an opening. CTY will lurking the way. Tansi is on his own. They're going to go for a big wraparound here. 8K, no, they're going to back off. Finagling for position right now is ForLove. Just waiting for that moment.
I think whoever strikes first is at a disadvantageous position because there's Magnus and Earthshaker. Nobody wants to go first.
I feel especially Vici Gaming is, because at least Fissure can cool down, Hook can cool down. RP ain't cooling down during a fight.
Unless you have a refresher.
Well, CTY is a little bit far away from that, wouldn't you say? So we'll see what they go for. ForLove, currently... Oh, they're just going to enfeeble ZSMJ.
This is very important. As long as they get the enfeeble of him, BKB doesn't remove it, Manta doesn't remove it, and he'll deal a very significant less amount of damage in the fights.
And it's sort of the same story for Vici Gaming that it is for ForLove, where it's basically one carry. A Juggernaut with the Yasha, a Phase Boots and a Drums is not a carry. A Weaver with just a BKB, Treads and a Bracer is not really a carry, so
But
both teams have a one carry
lineup.
lineup.
The Juggernaut will deal more damage than the Weaver.
Yeah, that's true. With Omni Slash, if you can get off a good one, you'll deal more, and he should get a good one off, because there's nothing to tank it.
Yeah, they saw the anti-mage farming at top and they went into Roshan, but the anti-mage is here already.
They're working through Roshan, but now the engage will come from Vici Gaming. They
Anti-low.
jump into the pit. XTT leads the way. RP catches 3 in the pit. The Fissure does very little. The call down comes as well. Can he turn it around? ZSMJ blows up the Gyro, who immediately buys back. Can he do anything with that buyback? Omni Slash. Hansi will track down CTY, but he's delivered his payload. He's going to go down with the ship. Now KYO comes back in, has the BKB, has the MKB. Hook isn't going to connect, and Vici Gaming are going to be forced back, but there's no RP now. And with these buybacks, can they actually take the Roche? ZSMJ lurking, waiting for an opportunity. No BKBs on anybody. Fissure was stolen. Clips off 2. ZSMJ finds one. Now they lift 8K, throw up on the other side of the Fissure. Call this trouble right now for somebody who it is. Hard to say. Another hook missing. Missing too many hooks in this fight. Not going to be able to take it if they don't find one. Omni Slash was stolen as well. FY playing like an absolute hero. ZSMJ able to blink away with about 30 HP. He'll teleport home. Now a zap.
No.
Oh my god, this Rubik is playing like an absolute monster. FY finding kill after kill after kill. They will lose the lead in the end. Now XTT gonna have to hoof it out of here. He gets dusted. Doesn't have time lapse on the run. Looks like he should be able to escape. And in the end, ForLove, they may get Roche. They may get Roche. But it's very expensive.
They don't have healing ward.
They want it. The Swarm is here. This is really going to put them in a bit of a bind, because if they don't take it now, then Vici Gaming comes back. They'll have RP in 30 seconds.
I think Vici Gaming has the Roshan.
Oh man, they have the Roche, and how many buybacks was that? I think it was 2. Yeah, 2 buybacks it looks like. And they lose Roche.
That the Rubik was the MVP in the fight. When Earthshaker blinked in to Echo Slam, he lifted the Earthshaker immediately.
He stole Fissure.
He slowed the Echo Slam down by 3 seconds.
Then he stole Fissure. He fissured 3 heroes, or 2 heroes it was. Then he stole Omni Slash. He Omni Slashed a couple of heroes. Then he Fade Bolted to find a kill. And all the while, you could just see ForLove tearing out their hair trying to deal with him. Just great play from that support Rubik. FY has been delivering this game, and frankly, it's good that he has been, because aside from that RP...
He's the Kuroki Rubik from the east.
I completely agree, and aside from that RP, I don't feel like anyone else from Vici Gaming is really playing particularly well this game, but CTY, he's had 1 good RP, haven't really felt his presence much aside from that. He's had maybe 1 or 2 other decent ones. ZSMJ hasn't played badly by any means, but hasn't really been that dominant carry. He's gotten picked off quite a few times. And Winter, I'm going to pick your brain. How do you feel about this choice going for a Vlad's now? 35 minutes in, still no big damage items aside from a Mansa style.
I don't really like the choice of going for the Vlads now. Maybe he feels that he needs to stand and fight the Gyro, because the Gyro will be just standing in the fight, life-stealing and hitting you and your teammates, and he wants the lifesteal to be able to stand and fight as well. Without the lifesteal, he can't stand and fight. But I felt that the VATs could be could be bought by the Magnus, and ZSMJ could go for more DPS output items.
For the time being, we're going to see them just look to farm the enemy jungle. Vici Gaming feeling a lot more confident now they have this Aegis of the Immortal secured, and ZSMJ is going to push in that top lane. Looks like he'll
By
go to
all
work on the
means,
tower.
I think ForLove is still very much in the game with their 2 carries.
Well, the gold graph says they're down by 5,000, which at this point isn't a whole lot.
Yeah,
Experience is more
5,000
significant. They're
now.
smoked up. They're going to jump. That's an RP.
no.
A beautiful RP catches 3 and let the chaos and the destruction ensue. Vici Gaming find 3. They want 4. They're going to dive Hansi while meanwhile catching out 8K. Can he hook his way to safety? He's got it cooling down in 1 second, but he needs to find the angle to get out. He needs a bailout. The illusions won't allow him to do it. ZSMJ finds a triple, and now Vici Gaming looking to just end this game. Thought maybe Hansi could get in range to set up a hook, but the illusions from ZSMJ were driving him back to Fountain. So at the end, Vici Gaming, I said CTY, I didn't really feel his presence, but he delivers 2 huge RPs late game, and that seals the deal. A beautiful fight and a beautiful performance from Vici Gaming, who struggled early, didn't feel like they dealt with the laning stage as well as they could have, but boy, they've dealt with the mid game and the late game quite a bit more admirably.
Yeah, those 2 RPs really, but huge credit to the Rubik as well. He set up the fight well for his team by stealing the Omni Slash and the Fissure. Not to mention lifting the Earthshaker when he's about to cast his Echo Slam.
What else could FY even do? Maybe he could give a little foot massage to ZSMJ. I'm not really sure, but he's really doing it all. Shadowblade from Hansi. He's gonna unveil this one.
Maybe the career's gonna die.
Oh, well. That's a little gold, but I don't know if we'll get out of here. Is there an RP? No Mana Void. The Cog's actually going to push him away. FY, what a player, this guy. He's going to Cog him and disrupt the Battle Fury teleport out, and then he's going to get him killed. So in the end...
They even saved the Mana Void, like you said.
Wow. What doesn't this guy do? Like, in all honesty. This is quite a performance.
Maybe he can't get a refresher on his Rubik so that he can steal 2 spells and use 2 spells. Actually 4 spells. If you get it right, you can steal 1 spell, use it, refresh, use the spell again, and steal another spell and use again. So in total, you get 3 spells at once.
So we could see a triple call down this game. Well, or triple fissure. I suppose that would be the ideal choice. At any rate, Vici Gaming, now that they've got 1 Rex, it feels like the game's pretty much theirs. It's not that ForLove couldn't come back, but they've got to fight their way through an Aegis, and I don't see how they kill this anti-mage twice, especially not when he's got buyback or he's got his next big item.
They need the big item on the gyro. I know you know what I'm talking about.
He's bought an Eagle Horse.
He needs a Divine Rapier.
This ain't gonna cut it. This is not gonna cut it. This is not the item that comebacks are made of, Winter.
Unless he's able to complete his butterfly and farm out a Divine Rapier, that would take him another maybe 15 minutes.
Meanwhile, ZSMJ could, of course, he could choose to donate a Rapier to the cause if he'd so like. He's almost richer than God at this point. 350 CS, which frankly is really good CS, but nothing special for what you expect from him on an anti-mage.
10k gold ahead of the gyro, and we were talking about the gyro ahead of the anti-mage like 15 minutes ago.
6, 2, and 11.
Yeah, now he's 10k ahead.
Again, this is his team just lining the kills up on a silver platter for him. It's pretty easy to secure those kills when CTY hits a 3-hero RP, when your Rubik's hitting multiple hero fissures.
The only way that I can see them winning the last fight here now is if the Clockwork is able to engage on the Magnus before the Magnus finds a two-man RP at least on his team.
You know what though? I really don't like that he hasn't spent any gold. When he's sitting on Aegis, it will end soon. Hook comes in,
he cooks the creep.
Not gonna connect. Now the BKB comes out from ZSMJ. Will he fight or will he Rex? He wants Rex. He's gonna play it the safe way. XTT with an MKB of his own, bringing it low. ZSMJ, he'll blink away. He didn't complete killing off the Rex, and now Hansi comes in with the Shadow Blade, but he's caught out, bursted down, blown the F up, and now on the run, that's an RP that catches 2. The fissure is there as well, but it won't do a whole lot with all these BKBs that are afoot. Echo Slam doesn't do anything, and now Vici Gaming routing ForLove in the shadow of their tier 4s. This is gonna be game. 5 heroes dead, triple kill for XTT. Vici Gaming, after a shaky start, Winter, they are gonna march to a convincing Game 1 victory.
Yeah, it was all the crucial 2 fights which turned the tide around for VG Gaming. They were in quite a tight spot before that. ForLove having the much better start, a far more farm carry than the opponent's carry. That's not something you see Vici Gaming put themselves in. Mostly they have a very strong start at the early phase and they steamroll you right from there. But in this game, ForLove made them sweat in the first 10 minutes.
I did feel like if ForLove were more polished and effective in some of those engagements, they could have taken this game. I didn't feel like Vici Gaming just were going to win by default.
I felt if they were to control the game and, like you mentioned, more polished, they were able to take down the Roshan, and I think they were a bit too over eager to take the Roshan, and it was a lot of that made them lose the fight there. They were too eager to get the Roshan and they paid the price. Gyro bought out died twice that fight. He died, bought out and died.
At the same time, let's not take anything away from Vici Gaming. They played fantastically, and of course, the MVP has to be FY. We'll boot up the GameFly stream as soon as possible, but I would be absolutely floored if they don't award him the MVP. Sure, some great RPs from CTY, but I didn't feel like they were anything out of the ordinary for a really good Magnus performance. This was a spectacular Rubik display that pretty much won the game for Vici Gaming. So with that being said, guys, this was game 1 of a best of 3. It's currently going to be Vici Gaming leading that set 1-0. They're already 1-0, having taken down LGD China earlier a couple of days ago. If they win this best of 3, they'll be 2-0 in the Dota 2 Super League. It's Perfect World's $1 million coming out party in China. 1 million RMB, excuse me, not $1 million. $160,000 though, which is a pretty petty at that. I'm LDB on the summit. I'm joined here by Winter, guys. Stay tuned. Game 2 coming up next.
Is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.